Hello crafters! Amaya from Great House Lalu here. Today I'll be walking you through woodworking in the Elder Scrolls Online. If you plan on being a sorcerer and archer or using one-handed and shield, woodworking might be something you want to invest in. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about are the skills. The first skill here allows you to upgrade woodworking, and basically that allows you to use different woods from the different areas. Each area has a specific kind of wood that scales with the level of that area. The second thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is Kenai. Kenai, what this does is it makes it a lot easier for you to find wood. Basically, a little white plume of mist will be coming off of the wood so you can see it. Otherwise, they're kind of hard to see. They're little logs on the ground, which I'm going to show you guys later. And the third skill I want to talk to you guys about is the Lumberjack Hireling. Each day, this little hireling guy delivers a chest to you with crafting materials you can use in woodworking. They usually give out trait stones and resins, but they can also give out woods as well. Fourth skill, wood extraction, greatly improves the chances of extracting woodworking ingredients. So say if you break down a blue bow, you get a better chance to get the resin from that bow, so you can use the resin to improve some other weapons. The fifth skill, carpentry, that reduces the time of research on your items. That is really important, especially if you're working on multiple items at a time, and having that skill really handy. And the final skill in the woodworking skill line is Resin Expertise. This, I think, is probably the most important skill of this line. You will definitely want to upgrade this. Resin materials are harder to come by, especially as they go up in rarity. Wood can be found from logs that are located on the ground all throughout Tamriel. Sometimes it can be pretty hard to see, but the Kenai skill helps a lot. Right now I don't think I have it on, but when you approach it, it'll tell you what kind of wood it is. Always look on the ground. Sometimes it'll be near trees. Just keep an eye out on the ground for it if you're looking. And here we get 4 pieces of wood just from this one log. You need 10 pieces to be able to sand it down to use it for crafting, so we gotta keep an eye out for some more. Woodworking stations aren't really hard to spot. They look like this. Usually they're in crafting hubs, but sometimes they can be located away from the other smithing tables, so you have to keep an eye out. If they aren't near the blacksmithing area, take a look in a barn or another building. You can also open your map, and that will tell you where one is. At the table, you have all the tabs for crafting that you need. You have Refine, Creation, Deconstruct, Improvement, and Research. And the first thing you want to do is Refine. Here I picked up some rough mahogany, which is going to give us some sanded mahogany. So just go ahead and add that and refine. You need 10 pieces of wood minimum to refine, so you're going to have to do a little bit of collecting. As you saw earlier, the rough you only gave us 4 pieces, so you need to find at least 2 or 3 wood nodes and harvest them to get enough wood. The second tab here is Creation. There are 2 boxes here at the top that you can tick. Have items and have knowledge. So that makes it a little easier if you don't know what you have or what you know how to make. There are different types of wood for each area. So these are all the woods I've collected. As you can see, maples in the starting area, then it goes on to oak, hickory, etc. So as you progress through the game, you're going to get different types of wood. By clicking the plus tab, you can change the level of the wood, but changing the level also uses more pieces, which you can see here in this middle number. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is style. These are unlocked by special books, and these are really hard to come by. I have been extremely lucky and been able to get some of these books, but you may not be so lucky. The shape of the weapon and the style depends on what racial style you craft in. My character is a dark elf, so it's going to start out with the Dunmer style. And for each style, there is a piece of material that you will need to craft with. For Dunmer, it's obsidian. Depending on the style you have, the weapons will physically change. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys some of the styles. Redguard uses star metal. Orc uses manganese, and you can get all of these as drops. You can get them from crates and barrels. You can also buy them at a blacksmith. Dunmer uses obsidian. Argonian uses flint. Altmer uses adamantite. Bosmer used bone, and Khajiit used moonstone. My personal favorite is the Khajiit bow. I just really, really love the way it looks. So, you may be asking, what is a racial motif? Racial motifs allow you to make weapons in the different racial styles. They are extremely hard to find. They are books, and they always come in the blue rarity. And luckily enough, I have one to show you guys. They're going to be in the consumable tab of your inventory here. The one that I have here for you guys is Barbaric. Now, as soon as you use these, they will disappear from your inventory, so do not use this unless you are sure you want to craft with it. Like I said, they're extremely rare, so there's also a high chance you could sell them for some nice gold if you're not interested in crafting. But all you need to do is hover over whatever book you have and just click E. It'll tell you a little story. It's not mandatory that you read it, but as you can see on the screen there, it flashed Learn Barbaric Style, so let's go and check that out. Now that we've learned the Barbaric Style, we can craft in this style, which is pretty cool. I really like Barbaric. It's one of the more rare styles. As you can see, it's kind of spiky and different looking, and the materials you want for this one are copper, which are kind of hard to find. I don't think that the blacksmiths sell these ones, so if you find one of these, you might want to hold on to it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is traits, which you can see here at the bottom. When you research items, you learn traits. When you learn a trait, for example, powered, you learn it for that weapon only. So if I go and research a bow with that trait, I only learn that trait for the bow and not staffs or shields. You will have to do a lot of researching to get all the traits for all of the weapons. When you pick up a weapon, it will display what trait it has, and you can instantly know if you want to deconstruct it or research it. As you research, the time for learning that trait increases as you unlock more traits. The trait I'm currently researching, I think, has quite a bit of time left on it. Let's go check. This one only has 4 hours, but as you can see, I know a lot of traits with the bow, so this one did take me, I think, like a day to research. The more traits you have, the longer it's going to take, and I believe once you reach the final trait, it takes you about 30 days to research the final one. Another thing about traits is that you need different mats for each trait. These come in gems, particularly for traits. So, like this one for powered, you need chiselite. And these can be bought, I believe, from merchants, and you can also find them in crafting bags, and shelves, and crates, and all sorts of stuff like that. You just need to keep an eye out for them. So they're pretty common. So once you have whatever trait you're selected, and it will tell you what stone exactly will do what, you need one of that stone to put the trait on your weapon. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a bow for you guys really quick, and I'm going to be using the weighted trait, which increases the weapon attack speed by 4. I'm going to go ahead and put this up to my level. We've got our materials for the style, and I'm going to be making a bow. So that's all you need right there, and just hit R, and you've got yourself a new weapon. Now that we have our new bow, it's time to improve it. So go over here to the improvement tab. Just click on whatever you want and go ahead and add it. This tab allows you to make weapons more powerful by increasing the quality, and when the quality increases, the damage will also increase. As you can see here, our regular ash bow starts out with 103 damage, but an upgraded ash bow, upgraded to green rarity, starts at 108 damage. These are the resins I was talking about here, the things that are really hard to find. Again, you can get them from miner hirelings and extracting from staves, bows, and shields. When you first start out, the percentage for making a weapon better is going to be extremely low, so I highly recommend that you have a backup weapon or you have a lot of resin to improve your weapon, because if it isn't improved, there is a chance that it will be destroyed. So be extremely careful with this step and make sure you know what you want to do before you try improving it. Okay, to improve to green rarity, you need pitch, blue turpin, purple mastic, and legendary you need rosin. And obviously rosin is the most rare resin to find. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade this. As you can see, it only takes me 2 resins to upgrade this weapon. That's because I have points slotted in the skill. Like I said, if you're going to be using a wood weapon, this skill is really, really important, and it's really, really helpful. It's really going to make things easier for you. So once you've done that, you just hit improve. And here, it'll give you a warning. If this attempt fails, Ash Bow will be destroyed in the process. Are you sure? And like I said, make sure you have a backup or you have a lot of resin, because once that weapon is gone, it's completely destroyed from your inventory and you won't be able to use it. It's gone. So just like that, we have a new bow. You can see it here in your inventory. The color's going to change on it to whatever you improved it to. We could improve it further. You have to obviously go up the chain of colors. If you have a white item, you have to make it green first. If you have a green item, so on and so forth, up the color chain until you get to legendary. So if you do plan on making a legendary weapon, which I haven't attempted yet because I only have 2 rosin, make sure you have the mats first so it won't get destroyed. And the very last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is the miner hireling, which I don't believe I showed you earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what they bring you every day. As you can see here, I've got a ton of raw material mail. Every day they're going to send you one of these chests here. They look like this. And it can be really random what's inside. It could be a bunch of resin, it could be some wood, it could be some trait stones. You don't really know until you open it. So you go ahead and you take the attachment, and then you go ahead to your items. It'll usually be in the consumable tab, but it can also show up, you know, if you just took it right here. So let's go ahead and open it. This one didn't really give me too good of stuff. Just some nickel and some manganese, which both of these can be purchased from a blacksmith, but it's useful to have these on hand from the hireling. So that wraps it up for the woodworking tutorial. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to respond to you guys and give you guys the best answer that I can. Also, I want to have a special shout out to Mira for the racial motifs. Without her, I wouldn't be able to show you guys that awesome barbaric bow. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll be putting out some more crafting tutorials as we get closer to launch, and I will see you guys in Tamriel.